Hello and welcome everybody into some Wednesday night racing action here with the Vigilante Racing League taking on the mighty Kingdom of Speed here at Talladega here tonight for 94 laps of just absolute high-flying chaos causing action. That's going to be absolutely fun to watch, especially in these Gen 4 cars in the kind of flip-flop schedule going on here tonight. Should have a fantastic time, so let's get everybody all in here. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show as we get everything all kicked on off with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back. As always, tonight's race is brought to you by some proud sponsors of the VRL, like a new sponsor here tonight, the 1-8 Coffee Company. Start your morning off with a win, whether you're going to be headed to your local trek or just clocking into that 9 to 5. Start your day with a great cup of morning brew, and man, it's all good stuff. Active duty owned and operated company. Big thank you to 1-8 Coffee Company for sponsoring tonight's race. And if you use discount code America's Driver, capital A, capital D, you even get a 10% discount. So big thank you to 1-8 Coffee Company for sponsoring tonight's race. We also have to say a huge thank you to our other race sponsors, such as GC Cruise Travel and Mr. Greg Klein. Give him a call at 918-906-5616. If you're trying to look up your next vacation possibilities, let the professional take all the worrying and the hassle and all that kind of stuff out of it and get you all relaxed and ready to go on that fantabulous vacation you got all planned out. So big thank you to GC Cruise Travel. Big thank you as well to Blue Fox Properties and Mr. Dave Mayberry. Give him a call at 520-850-4189. And he's based out of that Tucson, Arizona area, but he can help you out anywhere across the country with his 18 years of experience buying and selling homes. Get you into that home of your dreams. Oh man, Dave is a great guy and a great realtor, so be sure to give him a call here today. And of course, got to thank Mr. Ricky Wittenberg. Give him a call at 423-444-0454 and Keller Williams of Johnson City, Tennessee, to get you into that home of your dreams. If you're, maybe on the East Coast side of things, based out of Tennessee there, and he does fantastic work, just like Dave, helping everybody all around the country get into their home of their dreams. But of course, Big thank you to him as well for our beautiful splash screens with his other business of D&D race graphics. So big thank you to Mr. Ricky Wittenberg and all of our fantastic race sponsors. So with that, as always, I am Alan Brown, and I am joined in the booth today by the Brewmaster in general, my good buddy, Mr. Alan English, all locking in and ready to roll here, Alan. And man, we're coming back to one of our, all the plate tracks are our favorite plate tracks, but this one even more so. It's nice and wide, can definitely see 3-wide action going on out there, and we're doing it in a car that just goes absolutely way too fast for its own good.
That's what makes it fun, right?
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, here at Talladega, you're basically taking an ARCA car that's got 800 horsepower, and you're running it around out here. And, you can't really bump draft with these. We talked about that some before, but you can get really close to somebody and just barely tap them. But yeah, no bump drafting in these like you normally see at Talladega, and a lot of pushing, which you can't do here either. The way these cars are shaped, you're just going to lift up the rear tires of the car in front of you and spin them out. Probably wreck you both. So yeah, you really got to pay attention to how close you are to the car in front of you, and pay attention to who's in front of them. If there's a checkup, and guys normally bumping into each other, it's not a huge deal usually, but in these cars it will be a big deal. So try to watch the traffic in front of the people in front of you. I know it's kind of hard to do when you're nose to tail, but maybe maintaining a little bit of a gap will help you out here, and maybe moving to the side, kind of be able to look around that car in front of you. So we'll see how it goes. These guys have been racing together for quite a while. There's a few newcomers in here, but for the most part, this has been a pretty solid league for the past couple of years. So these guys know who they're racing around, and they know what they can and can't do. So looking forward to a great race here tonight at Talladega.
And that indeed we are. Is down there on pit road, we are looking for Bueller. Do we have a Bueller? Bueller.
You know where Adam's at tonight?
No, where's he at?
They had the voice auditions or something.
Oh, okay.
That's where he's at. He said he was going to do Def Leppard, pour some sugar on me by himself, which I told him that wasn't a good song choice, but he insisted, so that's what he's going to do. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We're just gonna have to, I guess, wait and find out. Adam will be possibly joining us here in and out throughout the evening, giving us all the check-in and all that kind of info here. But we'll just have to, like every good show, the show will go on without him here this evening, as much as it breaks our hearts. But so yeah, with that, do you want to break us down with some of the old rules here, Mr. English? I know we got to pull double duty here tonight.
Yeah, it's all good. This track is 2 2/3 mile long, 2.66 miles. They're going to have 70% fuel in these cars out here tonight. Track temp's pretty warm, about 97 degrees. Not enough to really make a huge difference in these cars, as they're going to be going under some great speeds under in the draft as well. Pit speed limit 55 miles an hour. These guys, hopefully they practice some green flag pit stops here, because we've seen them before here in this league, and we may see them again here tonight. Incident limits. So incident count penalty 17x, you're going to get a black flag, and then every 6x after that, you're going to get a black flag to come down and serve a penalty in the pit lane. But there's no limit. There's no DQ limit here in VRL. You just keep coming down serving penalties as required. One fast repair here tonight at the Super Speedway. So, yeah, man, that's you really got to take care of your machine out there, and you got one chance to total it out. And then after that, you're going to be all manual damage repair, which takes a long time, and you lose a lot of track position and a lot of time out there. So take care of the car. That's the number one thing out here, I guess, for me to say.
And that indeed it is. As we take a look here at tonight's race info, mighty quick. Some great weather out here on the racetrack. Beautiful sun, shiny skies, so no problems here for these drivers. Bringing us down to tonight's key to the race, and man, keeping it with the theme here. It's gonna be a less bumpy wake up out there. These cars, they draft really well. Just can't really get into the person in front of you because that doorstop wedge will just jack that rear end up right in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't bump or push like you could in another platform such as the trucks.
It's, we got everybody all scored on in and ready for their official starting grid run here. Let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver is going to start here tonight as we get everything all locked and loaded here. And starting up there, up at the front, is America's favorite driver, Mr. Albert Anderson in the 99 machine, starting up on pole position, continuing his great run of results here tonight. He's going to have the 33 adjust spot starting to his outside in second. 34 of Mr. Nick Ramsey, one of our friendly Canadians up there in 34, starting in third with the 07 of Jack the Ripper Dixon, another one of our friendly Canadians, starting way on up there, up in fourth. Fifth will go to the 14 of Dustin with a Y, Mr. Dustin Eaton. Glad to see that he was able to wake up in time for this race. 18 of his teammate Andrew Player going to start to his outside here in sixth. 81 Jonathan Osborne having a fantastic qualifying time there, starting up in seventh with the 43 of John Curtis up there, starting in eighth. Another fantastic Canadian with another great Canadian. Man, Canadians all over this top 10.
Yeah, man, they're all in the top 10.
Yeah, 23 of Sean McDonald starting here tonight in ninth with the 72 of Chan the Man rounding out your field, starting top 10. Oh, that you're going to have the 01 of Mr. Kelly Keel starting there in 11th. The 085 of Greg Dobson, the only Canadian not in the top 10, but still a great qualifying position up there in 12th. 13th, we'll go to the 29 of Dave the Man Mayberry, getting it done this weekend and out here tonight, starting in 13th. Let me make sure everything switches over. Yes, it does. Then you got Kyle Vaught starting right to his outside. Oh boy, watch out for that rivalry. He's going to be starting there in 14th. 15th, we'll go to Mr. George Rincon, driver of the 28, and Josh Bittner, driver of the 84 Chud Zilla machine. Rounds out your field's top 16.
17th place will be the 6th machine, Trevor Robertson, starting inside row number 8 here, or row number 9, I'm sorry. Edson Ochoa to his outside in the 8 machine. The 92 of Greg Klein will start in 19th place. 20th place right there, Ricky Whitberg in the double nickel. 4 of Deion Jones starting in 21st place. 22nd will be Jacob Young in the 17. 37 of Dustin Riley will start in 23rd. 24th, Scott Howell in the 187. The 123 of John Gallagher will start in 25th. 26th will be Tim Pope in the 27 machine. 53, Jeremiah Burke starting in 27th place. 28, Mike Adamson. Let's see, 29, Mike Everidge in the 82. 30th, Austin Paul in the 3. 31st, Andrew Cawthon in the 10. 32nd, Earl Evans in the 13 machine. And you got Ray Radford and Edward W. Smith rounding out your field. And thank you so much, as always, Lori Vaught for race control here tonight.
That indeed, as that is your official starting grid, and all the drivers participating in here tonight as the pace car guides these drivers down through turns 3 and 4 as we get ready to get this party started. As always, we thank you all for tuning in and watching and enjoying your evening time with us here tonight. Be sure to hit that subscribe button or ring the notification bell so you get alerted every single time that we go live. And of course, hit that thumbs up button if you do enjoy any of the racing action, so that way, you know, we can continue to grow this fantastic racing community. Got the 99 and the 33 all locked on in side by side, entering that Geico restart zone for the first time here tonight as we go green flag racing here from Talladega. Side by side, the field quickly gets on up to speed here, rumbling and bumbling on down into turns 1 and 2. A great push here from that 34 of Nick Ramsey to the 99 of Albert Anderson, getting him way out in front. 33 of Just Fought, needing some help. It's back there. It's just taking a little while to catch right back on up to him. He's going to pinch on down to that bottom line as the 81 Jonathan Osborne wasting no time, going from the high side back down the low and up to the high side, bobbing and weaving his way on up through this field as he gets up and locked in behind that 33 of Vaught as they continue to race side by side out of turns 3 and 4, coming back down into that trioval and back across that start finish line, completing lap number 1 here tonight. And boy, oh boy, we are underway.
Completing it safely, no less. No incidents here so far. A lot of too wide still out there on the track. Guys keeping their distance like we talked about during pre-race. Everybody knows not to bump or push here. So everybody keeping a pretty healthy gap in front of them. And a lot of that is for visibility so they can see what's going on in traffic ahead of them.
With the big run, the 33 of Vaught able to dive on down in front of Anderson here to take that lead away as the rest of the field continues to jockey for position. 14 of Dustin with a Y, Mr. Dustin Eaton fighting side by side, trying to make his way on up through the field. He's kind of tag teaming up here with the 81 of Jonathan Osborne, giving him a little bit of a shove, trying to get some runs there. 18 of Andrew Player in that top side, as well as the 01 of Kelly Keel. Then you got kind of back here in the middle / towards the back, a little 3-wide action as the 37 of Dustin. Really, man, do not sleep on this guy whatsoever. If you're near him at any point in this race, you're doing something really, really well as he heads on up around the outside, still taking it 3-wide. He's got the 085 of Dobson and the 29, I believe, of Mayberry right underneath him.
Thanks everybody out there in the YouTube for joining us. Earl Evans out there in the sponsored not sponsored machine saying he's got to pass a lot of people out there tonight. So good luck to you there, buddy. Albert Anderson's pop is out here pulling for his son. Thank you so much for being here, Albert. Kathy and Edith also out here pulling for Albert Anderson, America's driver with the sponsor, the title sponsor of the race here tonight, 1-8 Coffee Company. Team Anderson out in force in the YouTube chat. Thank you all so much for being here. And then Chan the Man saying he's got a new background and first race on the new wheel. Hoping for good luck here tonight.
Yeah, that he is.
Cam background, I should say.
Oh yeah, he's got everything all organized and looking pretty as he gets taken 3-wide by that 37 of Dustin. Really, as we take a ride here with him, mighty quick. And yeah, that new wheel is working hard. I can see the camera shake from all the force feedback that he's having to deal with. So,
he get a direct drive set up or something, or
he might have. We're gonna have to ask him that.
Things are torquey.
Oh, you really can, especially to become more affordable now. Got that like Moza wheel now or something like that, and it's definitely within a reasonable price frame, closer to your Thrustmasters and your Fanatec. So more and more people are jumping onto the direct drive kind of thing. Haven't yet personally done it myself, and when I do, I will put it to the 100% just because I don't like my wrists.
You like to smoke wheels too.
I do.
What I heard. Happened to you once before, didn't it? Was it an endurance race? No, it was the Australian cars.
Yeah, the V8 supercars at the Texas Infield Road Course. Yeah, something about those cars definitely not supposed to be on that racetrack and slipping and sliding all over the place. My poor belts in that. in that steering wheel here. But nonetheless, we continue to race side by side. Edson Ochoa and the 8 machine climbing his way on up into 18th right now. He's up on the high side. He's got the 53 Barbie machine of Jeremiah Burke tucked in right behind him. Glad he is very fully embracing the whole girl dad vibes. Oh, there we go. Oh, America's driver going for a tumble, and we got ourselves a big one.
Well, at least 8 or 9 cars involved in that. That's still happening. God.
As everybody tries.
88 gets hit again.
Everybody tries to find a way through the madness and the chaos. As well, let's go ahead and see what happened here, and what possibly caused some of these shenanigans up at the front.
America's driver got hit.
Yeah, it looks like he did. Well,
Yes.
I think he might have actually had to check up because he was getting into the 33, because the 33 was checking up as the 81 of Osborne was coming down the racetrack here a little bit. Glad to hear your voice there, Mr. Turner. Glad to have you up here with us for the time being as we jump up to the chopper camera. Yeah, 34. I just wasn't ready for the checkup here. Gets into the back of Anderson, and then it was just all rough and tumble from there. You can see everybody just doing their best trying to check things on up, and oh my goodness, talk about a big mess.
We talked about this exact scenario pre-race about checkups and how the shape of this car is going to cause wrecks. And there you go. Holstetter involved in it right there. Adam, how did your audition go? I advised you that was a bad song, but did the judges like it?
They didn't really care for it, but they liked the pizzazz.
Okay, well, that's what's important. I mean, that's what gets people on the show. So.
Yeah, I had a 1-8 coffee beforehand, and really, it kind of helped me out, pepped me up.
There you go.
But I come in here and see the 1-8 coffee machine get crashed. That wasn't pretty.
Well, I'm sure the sponsors are appreciating some camera time, but probably not the camera time they expected.
Thankfully, we do have that one fast repair for people to use and get back up underway, and it looks like pretty much the field jumping on down and in, whether it's for repairs or just taking some fuel, find their way on down onto pit lane here.
Yeah, Talladega's it's just mayhem. One fast repair, you're gonna have to use it here. Some of these guys, so we'll see who uses them. Cleans up that car.
If you got minor damage, though, do you go ahead and try to use some manual damage repair just to keep that fast repair in your back pocket?
You do, because you have so much time to catch up to the field here and get a lot of it done.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Try to save it if you can, for sure. Hey, did you see Dobson's paint again? What a beautiful paint scheme for the Canadian machine in 085. I love that gold paint.
085. Searching.
Tucker Carlson's taken over Canada. Have you seen this?
No.
He's trying to liberate them. So
that's good.
We're on your side, Canada.
The gold Inti Tim Hortons machine. Sweet.
Timmy's. Gotta love some.
Is that what they call it? Do they call it Timmy's?
Yeah. Or Tim's.
Oh, okay. They own Burger King now, somebody told me.
Oh, did they?
Why? Why would you do
I don't
that?
know, the company bought them.
That kind of scares me a little bit.
They can't, you know?
It's a big conglomerate then, huh?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But what I do know is Tim Hortons has some fantastic crawlers, so if you've ever seen one around, be sure to pick one up.
What are they?
Crawlers? It's a pastry.
A crawler? Like a night crawler?
Krull. Like,
that's what we go fishing with.
I don't know the exact spelling, but I think it's CRU. So, like crawler. It's, think of like just like your typical, just a good breakfast kind of Danish pastry
like
kind of thing. I'm sure. I don't know, man. I don't know
Awesome.
food names. All I know is if it tastes good, it goes into my mouth.
Yeah, it sounds like a kolache, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Because they have fruit kolaches, and they also have, like, the meat kolache, sausage,
Yeah.
bacon, whatever.
Oh, guess what I had for supper
Put
today?
out next time I'm up there. What'd you have?
I got home. The old lady had chicken fried ribeyes, ready to roll. My goodness.
Well, you're not living in the same economy I am, then.
Oh.
Big time. You're so rich you can fry ribeye.
We've
Yeah.
never tried to make them at home, so this was kind of an experiment.
It's living large.
Turned out outstanding. There were those really thin ribeyes, you know? They're about half the width as a regular one, which makes them perfect for battering up and frying in a skillet. My God. It was a thing of beauty. With cayenne pepper and flour and salt and pepper. I think that's all that was in the
Sounds pretty good.
breading. Oh man. She double dredged it, so it's got a good thick breading on it. Fried to a golden brown.
I guess when I hit the lottery, I'll be able to do that too.
Well, we couldn't afford the gravy to go on it, so
Yeah,
but
right. That's the big part.
it didn't need it. It didn't need it.
Wow.
Support your local farmers. We got a farmer that our brewery gives our grain to that helps feed their cows and stuff. And, they got a little storefront down in South Bossier City, Smith Family Farms. So
You
support your
trade
local.
beer. Trade him beer, and then you get you some.
Well, it gets our spent grain, which it's better than going in the trash can. At least some animals get to eat it. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
support your local farmers out there.
And just as we support our racers and their racetrack here tonight, as we go back to Green Flag Racing, Osborne and Eaton locking things on up at the front row. Eaton trying to do what he does in Tarkov and escape from this field and get on out in front. The 01 of Kelly Keel giving him a big old shove as we got Giacchi in for position, back and forth. Everybody trying to get all lined on up with, man, that 01 just giving a big shove to that 14 of Eaton and getting him launching way out in front as the 14 dives on down to the bottom lane. Oh, the 72 getting a little squiggly behind the 01. 01's going to be looking for assistance as the 14 kind of left him on up there. Not completely out to dry. He's not going to do that quite this early here on lap 11 out of 94 laps here tonight. We've even seen the Canes machine, the 17 of Jacob Young, who had a fantastic Daytona 24-hour race with his GT3 racing team this past weekend. I guess he and his guys played by the rules and got the job done and picked up a race win here this go around. So congratulations there, Jacob Young and the rest of that team. I know it was a fantastic event as the 34 gets shuffled up into the wall. 99 of Anderson almost gets up into the back of him. Looks like the 72 just kind of trying to settle that car on in and everything getting all loosey-goosey out here. Thankfully, it looks like the 34 will be able to tuck in behind the 13 of Earl Evans here and able to get everything back up and running.
Man, I got a little Western right there.
A little bit closer.
It's not easy to win it's not easy to win one of those 24-hour races, man. So that's congrats to them. Good job.
I know. I know. The VRL had a couple official teams going. I was racing for Team Octang because Dustin Eaton in Team Tang. So we're just like, we have an opportunity here, so we took it. Had a great race. We either finished 7th or 8th, kind of out on the department on that one, but there was some good racing there. And then Vigilante Apex I believe they got a 4th place finish. So they had a very good run there, and both cars came home looking pretty clean, and was a fun-filled but very, very busy and long weekend this past weekend. As here we go, Albert Anderson, America's driver, working some magic up on that far outside lane. He's got the 34, giving him some help, trying to get both of them up here, up to the front as we remain 3 wide for a couple rows here.
Good job to all y'all running that 24 hours. That's to keep a car in good shape for an entire day, like 24 hours of racing. That's a feat right there, especially how big the splits are and everything.
Yeah, I watched some of it just on my own. It's tough. I would have drove that thing right in the wall, and y'all been race over quickly. So, congrats, man.
Yeah, we even in the octane split that we had, we were marked up into a slightly higher split than some of the other guys, but on the GT3 side, we were racing in the prototype, but in the GT3 side, one of the race teams had a Coca-Cola driver in it.
Cool.
With his like 6,000 plus I rate and just tearing it up. I think they picked up the win, so.
All right, 3 wide up front though, Brown, and one of the cars is blinking up there. So we got to pay attention to that.
And that indeed we do, as the 37 Dustin really finds his way up towards the front, up in the middle. He's got his good buddy, the 01 of Kelly Keel, helping out and giving him a push, but on that far outside lane with a big run. Here comes the 34, the 33, and the 99. Bobbing and weaving their way up on that high side out to the front. 99 was clear for a second. Oh, not quite able to jump on down in front of the traffic just yet. They're going to have to build up that momentum to make another charge here as the 33 had just fought, tucks into line with his Vigilante Force teammates here, the 37 and the 01 up in that middle lane. Still down there on the bottom, though, is the 14 of Dustin Eaton being pushed by the 81 of Jonathan Osborne as we stay side by side by side. 3 wide racing here at Talladega.
When you could throw your grandma's homemade oversized Afghan over half the field, you know that bad things are going to happen. These guys are very close together, and a lot of 3 wide and a lot of it, 10 cars deep here. So, I'm getting nervous.
Those are comfortable though,
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
A couple of them. Great on those cold days.
You ain't kidding here as we take a ride with the 8 of ESPN 8's the Ocho himself, Mr. Edson Ochoa. Kind of got a good bird's eye seat from for this one. All the action going on in front of him. He's just riding around in that middle lane, making sure not to get up into anything as we've got some cars scraping the outside wall there, but able to get it back down off of there.
It's our guy down the valley, man. Love South Texas. Good bird hunting down there, isn't it, Adam?
Oh, yeah, the best. Hunting anything, really.
Huh?
Even hunting colons is fun down there. Great part of the country. Nobody moved down there because that's my spot. It's a cool place to be.
Over there in the YouTube chat. Thank you, Gene Porras, for being here, pulling for the 16. Taylor Provax here as well. Let's shake that yellow flag off and do some solid green racing out here. Also pulling for the 16 and the 33. Edith Anderson out here pulling for the 99. She also asked questions. She said, do all the cars use the same company for paint jobs? No, that's the cool thing, is that you've got guys like Ricky Wittenberg that paints cars on his computer, and it's basically a file that you email or transfer to somebody else. But it's really, really neat how everybody has their own style of painting cars, and you can see a Ricky Wittenberg paint a mile away just because it's so vibrant in color and he has his own style. And a lot of people like me, I've done some old school throwback paint jobs on cars and stuff. But yeah, that's the cool thing, is that anybody can do it. but it takes a lot of practice to be good at it. And there's some guys out here that are really good at it. So
Well, look at the paints up front. All four, aren't they on the same team here? Tulsa King, Greg Klein's up there with Reilly, Jess Vaught and Kelly Keel. Are they all on the same team? Looks like it by just by paint.
6 machine back here, you can tell that's a Ricky paint.
Yep, 16 Kyle Vaught tucked in behind the 81 of Osborne. And man, I've been seeing some of the things Ricky's been doing with that AI program and stuff that he uses, and woo, he's gonna have one heck of a lineup coming to the stores here pretty dang quick. But speaking of pretty dang quick, as we run here at approximately, a casual 200 and such miles per hour here, going back to some 3-wide racing with the 99 of Anderson and the 34 working some magic up on that high side here. Once again, it looks like they're possibly trying to get another member on up there, up around the outside lane. I think trying to see who that is in that purple car. It's the 6 machine, or Robertson, trying to catch on up and maybe make some moves here, as we're starting to definitely see some differences in strategies. Got some people going nose to tail in the back, just keeping it calm, keeping it clean. And then we got 3 wide all the way up here, up at the front, as Albert Anderson continues to try to charge on forward here.
Oh, good looking race so far, though. These guys got it together. As usual, though.
Yeah, Albert continues with his recovery. Check out Earl Evans up 25 spots. Now sitting in 8th in that sponsored, not sponsored, bad luck number 13 machine.
As he as well has normally he has his driver cam on, but doesn't tonight. But you can see the 3 wide going on in front of him. He's even leaving nice little gaps here just in case something has to bail out or anything. But that top side getting a big time run. Will the 99 get cleared of everybody here? Ooh, well, he's got cleared at least to the middle lane. That leaves the 34 out there all on his lonesome. And he's going to get shuffled on back now that he's lost all the draft and help that he had from his dancing partner up there. Yeah, well, he was able to find a spot in the middle rather quickly, right behind Earl, so actually it wasn't too bad there for the 34 machine. But the top side now, as we go back to 2 wide racing, being led by the 99 of Albert Anderson, still has some work left to do. He's going to try getting some help with the 92 of Greg Klein to work his way back up alongside the 33 and that 01 as we stay side by side here. As we continue having a beautiful race here tonight. Another Vigilante Force member, 29 of Dave Mayberry, just kind of keeping it clean, running into some open track. About to take the 63 of Edward W. Smith a couple wide here, but other than that, just doing his best to stay nice and clean. 3 Austin Paul, or I should say SpongeBob Paul out there, trying to just stay inside of this draft.
Unique paint, doesn't he? SpongeBob SquarePants.
Rutabaga.
It's the side-by-side action continues to bubble and boil here. Lap 25 of 94 up underway. Does look like Jeremiah Burke had cheerleader dad duty. Had to bail out here.
What you got to do for your family, that's for sure. So. Had a strong season last season. I remember Burke was the guy to beat in the last few races there. It was pretty amazing seeing him run out there, and not just at mile and a halves or this or that. Pretty much any kind of track. Jeremiah Burke was one of those guys. He was in contention every week.
Yeah, that That's indeed, as we remain locked in here side by side, and everybody doing their darndest to get some good finishes here. As we're quickly approaching the 1/3 of the way through this thing mark, with everybody last pitting right around lap 9 or lap 8. We're coming up on 20 laps on this run here, Mr. English, which means green flag pit stops are pretty much creeping up right around the corner, and that's going to cause all sorts of chaos here.
Yes, sir. And just an update on our neighbors to the north, Team Canada, their highest ranking driver right now, Nick Ramsey, in 9th in that 34 machine. The rest of the guys are all on a different pit strategy, it looks like. The other 4 Canadians all pitted on lap number 9, it looks like. Sean McDonald ended a lap earlier than that, but he is a lap down, I think, due to some contact earlier. I'd say Team Canada, they're on different teams, but John Curtis, Greg Dobson, Jack Dixon, Sean McDonald, and Nicholas Ramsey representing our neighbors to the north, Canada.
That they indeed are. 07, 085, and the 43. Position-wise, they're all right up with each other, and right now the 43 of John Curtis, kind of outside the draft, has his own little chase pack going on here with the 28 of George McCon, 10 of Andrew Cawthon, 187 of Scott D. Howell, and the 47 of the movie star, Mr. Ray Radford. Trying to work together here and catch on up back to the main field, where Greg Dobson is kind of holding up the back of the pack, making sure everybody tries to stay up inside that group. He's got the 4 of Dion Jones, who's a lap down here after that first caution, but trying his best to stay with the group and possibly pick up a lucky dog or anything like that. He's racing against the 6 of Trevor Robertson, who's a few spots up in front of him here inside of this pack to race for that lucky dog.
A lot of Vigilante Force cars up here in the top 5. Just take a look here. You got the number 1 pusher in the league, I think, Kelly Keel, doing his best to stay right on the boss man's bumper there. Just fought right in front of them there, and they're keeping that inside line momentum in great shape. Albert Anderson can't seem to get a leg up there on them, as the 37 and the 14 right behind them as well. The Vigilante Force guys just very organized here on the inside line, just dominating the inside.
Oh,
Greg Klein.
Oh, go for
Greg
it.
Klein kind of keeping his distance off of the 99, trying not to give him any advantage over the other teammates that are running on the inside line.
Well, yeah. I mean, not only that, but I mean there's like this buffer zone that you really need to hold here with these cars, as we talk about ad nauseum, about, you know, how they're kind of shaped like a door wedge, and they'll just get up literally underneath the car in front of him. Here is the 01 of Kelly Keel giving a big push to his teammate there in the 33 Jess Vaught. There's this little, like, perfect little zone where you get all the benefits of what bump drafting would actually give you, but without actually touching each other. So drivers are just trying to balance on that point, but of course trying to balance on that point while doing 200, 205 miles an hour. It's a little bit of a tough task here as they leaders make their way on around the, it looks like the I think the 88 of Mike Adamson there running the, nope, wasn't the 88 of Mike Adamson.
Gallagher.
Was it Gallagher? It was Gallagher. He changed up his paint scheme. I'm used to a different paint scheme from the 123, but he's racing his National Guard paint scheme here tonight as he rejoins the track after a little trip down pit road.
Tell you what, Anderson's holding his own there with Klein and who else is there with him? 34. They're holding their own on that outside line. They're not falling back like I predicted. they're staying right together. They just need to keep tight, and they'll be just fine up there.
And what about Albert working his way back, after that
Oh, yeah.
incident? He's just amazing, especially here at these giant tracks, the old super speedways.
84 of Bittner going side by side here with Dave Mayberry. He's trying to lock in with his teammate of Trevor Robertson there in the 6th and make up some good ground here. Edward Smith, Timothy Pope, Chan the Man, Chandler Paul up inside of this group, Austin Paul, Ricky Wittenberg, Jack Dixon, Greg Dobson round out your main group, and even Mike Everidge in the 82 machine having a really good run up here, up inside the top 15, top 16 as he battles side by side with the 17 of Jacob Young, who's been working well with some drivers down there on the bottom side of things. 18, Andrew Player, the once bearded fellow. Unfortunately, I guess work has once again forced him to shave off that beard, but he's all locked in here tonight and just cruising around right now, right behind the 16 of Kyle Vaught.
29 was down low. Edson Ochoa was going to move down. It was 3 wide for a second. Edson Ochoa was going to move down in the 8 machine, and 29 was already there, so he had to kind of steer back to the right there. Close call there, but Edson with his head on a swivel there. Saw the 29 down there. 29's making tracks on the outside here, but we're hearing a lot of guys talking on the radio here about, when are we going to pit? I got 4 laps left or so. We just heard that from George.
Yeah, the pits are coming. It's going to be interesting here, especially under green flag condition.
Yeah, all by yourself. Talladega is probably one of the easiest pit roads to get down and into. Plenty of room to slow down and get woed up before that commitment cone, and you get a speeding penalty. But racing side by side for 200 miles an hour, that makes that job a whole heck of a lot more difficult.
Going from 202 down to 55, it's kind of rough to get that thing slowed up. Go ahead.
Yeah, not only that, it's just if you're on the high side, nobody's going to give you room, and you're out of gas, you got to come down. That's where you see stuff happen too. They don't like to give each other room here. They're playing games right now before this. Maybe a little fight could happen. You know how people want to squeeze their way down on the bottom line, and you don't want them to get down in there with you?
No, of course.
Yeah, I was always an angry driver.
But you're just an angry person.
That's true.
Sweet.
He did stay in the 99, being persistent out there. Yahtzee.
That indeed he is. Continuing to race up here, up at the front as everybody probably locking in here, getting ready to come on down into the pits for those first time, and getting ready to get those green flag pit stops up underway as we're just a little bit past the 1/3 of the way mark. And here we go, seeing some people start to peel on off now. 81 Jonathan Osborne coming on down and into pit lane.
Right.
Yeah, I think he might be talking to the race stewards after that one.
Black flag, Jonathan Osborne.
And
Super fast.
that's going to hold him there for about 40 seconds down onto pit road. Coming in just a little hot.
Yeah, and only 2 of them came down there. I don't know if they're trying to short pit people or what the deal is there.
Well, I think
we'll see if it works out.
Yeah, I think maybe their idea isn't necessarily short pitting, but pitting a lap earlier compared to some people, you get a little bit of a cleaner entrance down onto pit road. It's not going to be as congested as Josh Bittner going, the 6 is coming down and having some issues. Hard into the inside pit wall. as we got some beating and banging coming on down into the pits. Gonna have to see if Bittner's got a speeding penalty from that. 55, Ricky Wittenberg. 17,
Right.
Jacob Young. 82, Mike Everidge. And 3, Austin Paul, with the 8 of Edson Ochoa making their way on down into the pits.
All right. Trevor Robertson, Kyle Vaught, Jacob Young, John Curtis, Josh Bittner. All black flagged right there.
Oof.
That Chandler Paul should have been. He came in there like he stole the thing. I don't know if you saw his entrance. It wasn't grand.
Well, it was maybe just a little too much, but I guess he got away with it for now, as here comes the rest of the field. Oh! Able to save it from catastrophe. 37 to Dustin, really locking those brakes on in as everyone's making the mad dash down onto pit road. 27, Timothy Pope in the 085. Greg Dobson, your only 2 drivers yet to come back down into the pits for their pit stops. They are working together right now, kind of tag teamed on up. So I think they're just waiting to see possibly what comes of the chaos that is the green flag pit stops. And it does look like, no cautions or anything like that. So I guess that's a big plus.
Yeah, we were saved, but 72, man, Chandler Paul. That was a wild entrance into the pits. It worked out for him. He's fine, but yeah, a lot of fun. And now we're going to stretch it out. I want to get it, I'd like to see it get back together into double file racing, but it's going to take a while, I think, here.
Yeah, it's going to take a second. 33 just fought, currently in possession of the lead, kind of out by himself, but the 01 of Kelly Keel and the 14 of Dustin with a wide. Dustin and Eaton working together to catch on up. Albert Anderson's got his own little pack. 34, Nick Ramsey involved in that. 6 of Trevor Robertson there as well, as everybody tries to eventually get all locked on up and back together here. 18, Andrew Player tag teaming up with the 92 of Greg Klein, who's going to try to stay with some draft here with his teammate, the 37 of Dustin, really, as, man, talk about a mad shuffle. It's a mad shuffle indeed, as the 085, Greg Dobson, comes out of the pits. He's going to have to try to jump on to the second little pack of 3 here if he wants to stay up inside of this main group. He's going to move up to the outside wall, let them squeeze on by, but he's got to quickly get back down into that line. And hopefully he's still got a little bit of that draft. We also got some side-by-side going on with 82 Mike Everidge, 29 Dave Mayberry, 3 Austin Paul, 55 Ricky Wittenberg, 07 of Jack the Ripper Dixon. All, well, I would say working together here, but side-by-side isn't quite working together as well as they would possibly like here. As big gaps throughout this field. Of course, whenever we see green flag pit stops, it definitely seems to happen, but green flag pit stops were some people getting told they were being a little naughty and have to be held up. That spreads things on out even more, as we're side by side with the leaders coming up onto a pack of will eventually be lap traffic here, being led by that 17 of Jacob Young. Looks like we're gonna be going 3 wide here.
Ooh,
Dylan Bryant.
Crazy.
Dylan Bryant, a guy who definitely knows how to win out there, pulling for Albert Anderson in the YouTube chat. Thank you so much for being here. And Albert Anderson's pop saying green flag pits are interesting, aren't they? Oh, yeah. They spread things out for sure.
17 of Young was right in that apron line with 0 margin of error. He was all over that yellow line on the bottom of the racetrack where there's a little bit of a transition, especially in these corners, and whew, that got me nervous.
Hey, look who's up here in the top 5 here. Nicholas Ramsey, the Canadian.
Oh! 14 of Eaton going around, bringing out the caution. Oh my goodness. 33 of Jess Vaught taking a trip through the infield grass, just ensuring that it was mowed to the appropriate height. And we got ourselves our second caution of the evening. Let's go ahead and take a look-see and see what happened there that possibly caused that.
checkup situation, I think, again. Let's see.
Well, it might have been a little net cody. So 33 pops on up to the outside lane, trying to get around that 14 of Eaton because he sees there's really not a lot of help on that bottom side. 99 of Anderson goes up to make sure he is clear up towards that outside wall, and then when he comes back down, I guess that front bumper just up underneath the 33 of Vaughton. Vaught gets into the back of the 14 of Eaton there as 33 taking that quick trip through the grass, and the 14 of Dustin with a Y really getting the rough end of the stick on that one. I'm trying to find the 14's name. There we go.
Kind of, like you said, there was a little netcode feel to that. Barely touched, it looked like.
And keep in mind, guys, these cars don't have as much downforce as a Cup car or something like that. So it's I would say, akin to driving a Xfinity car. And, the way Jess Vaught moved up into the outside line and then pulled the wheel back center may have been enough to upset the car. I really can't tell.
Yeah, Russ Endicott said took the air off of him. That's probably good explanation.
Good analysis there, Russ. He knows his stuff for sure. He's pulling for tenderfoot out there tonight. His buddy Albert Anderson.
And that indeed he is, as Albert and company make their way on down into pit road here to top up on fuel, even though we just had some green flag pit stops. Hey, anytime you can shove some extra fuel down into those roll bars, man, it'll be it's never a bad thing.
Yes, and go.
We'll say, thankfully, though, the 14 of Eaton, other than the couple of pirouettes, it was just a tiny little kiss of the rear bumper to the outside wall, and that was pretty much the extent of his damage there, so wasn't too bad. Could have most certainly gotten been a lot worse.
Well, they're talking about the crash, and really just one of those things. Nobody's really at fault. Racing deal.
Everybody's kind of talking about, well, have you got damage? What kind of damage you got? Trying to gauge the guys around them, I guess, to see what they can do or not do.
Yeah, I'm testing out some of that 1.8 coffee with whiskey now at this point.
Are you really?
I don't think it's in the manual for 1.8 coffee, but I tried it. I enjoy it.
Well, I think they're some Army cats, some soldiers out of Fort Benning is what runs that 1.8 coffee company. So
yeah, you got to support that.
I guarantee you that a few of them guys have put some whiskey in their coffee in the morning.
Well, he would assume, right?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Speaking of, I want to go take this coffee and whiskey on a cruise. GC Cruise Travel.
Who do you call for that?
Greg Klein, GC Cruise Travel. At the Facebook machine, facebook.com/GC Cruise Travel. I'm headed to Antarctica soon. At the bottom of all the stuff going on. But you can go anywhere. Yeah, you can go anywhere.
Bermuda shorts down there.
No, well, I will do the polar plunge, I'm really here for investigative purposes, though. That's what I want to go for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got to get to the bottom of all this stuff. It's not making any sense to me.
Bottom of the world. Just find it too.
Yeah, where all that secret base is with all the UFOs and weaponry.
Directed
head down there and check that out. Yeah, how they got Maui and all that. I would just want to see how it happened.
Well, you can also, because I know you're the conspiracy guy and all that, I don't know if you subscribe to the whole flat Earth thing, but I mean that, you know, it's just a giant ring of ice that keeps us all locked in. You're not really going to the bottom of the world, it's just the ring, man.
I'll head to the ring. I'll investigate that too. I probably should buy some properties before I go just to have some investments. There's a couple people we could use for that, isn't there?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Both Mr. Dave Mayberry and Mr. Ricky Wittenberg.
Yeah, I'll use them, one for East Coast, one for West Coast. Then I'll have something left behind when I get sucked into the big ice hole. You know, for the kids.
Doing it for the kids here as we get ready to get back on up into speed here, checking out about halfway here through this race from Talladega. Albert Anderson and the 34 Nick Ramsey getting things started side by side. Anderson with a good jump on that restart's going to have the 37 of Dustin Riley behind him, with the 92 helping out the 34 of Ramsey up on the outside lane. 18 Andrew Player tucked in on the bottom side. And how about this? The 29 Mr. Dave Mayberry flying around up here, creeping his way back on up through the field. He tag teams up with the 01 of Kelly Keel, one of his teammates and buddies out there. Edward Smith and the 63 machine are joining up forces with the 8 of Edson Ochoa. Even got Earl Evans, Andrew Cawthon all working together. Mike Everidge trying to continue some good runs here as he helps out the 14 of Dustin with a Y. So we are all locked back into side-by-side racing action here for 200 miles an hour and about 47 or so more laps.
That means we're just over halfway, it looks like, so it's a good thing here. Got 18 folks, at least 18 folks out there watching the stream out there tonight. If you guys like what you see out there tonight, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell. It helps us reach more folks. So more people can see y'all's family and friends out here running, racing. We get more exposure for our sponsors, including our new sponsor, 1-8 Coffee Company. Owned by active duty troops. We sure appreciate y'all.
Yeah, more money for everybody. Really helps the league more than anything.
Yeah.
Jess and Lori put a lot into this league, and you really couldn't do it without these sponsors, so that's really cool.
Outside line, I'm not sure they're gonna have that much momentum. You got 3 Vigilante Force guys, and then the good wiser man himself there, the 28. Ooh, 01 got a little sideways there. Oh man, contact between the 3 and the 34.
Oh,
81
man.
got in the wall.
As we're
He held it.
We got some side-by-side racing action here. 3-wide racing with 92 Greg Klein and the 01 of Kelly Keel all tag teamed on up. Looks like the 27 Timothy Pope is on up there with them, trying to pick up a good run. 14 of Dustin with a Y moves on up to the high side here as we remain 3 wide. 085 Greg Dobson kind of meeting the sandwich here, stuck in the middle, a few rows back from the front, trying to figure his way on out and around and through this chaos. 18 to Andrew Player, working some magic up here towards the front. He's eventually going to get the 14 of Dustin Eaton up there with him. So 2 Tang team members working together here. But oh my goodness, look at that run coming into the turn there that the 14 got by the 92 of Klein, and he just launches himself straight down the track.
Incredible momentum by those guys on the outside. Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, one of the places you can pretty much do 3 wide safely, and they showed it off right there.
Yeah, And still.
Second, the third,
Wreck.
the 63.
Oh,
Edward
we got
Stumpy
more going on
Smith.
behind it. 99, 28. Oh, goodness. Oh, man. 28 just got absolutely smoked by this 16 of Kyle Vaught.
Wow.
Sweet. Go ahead and take a look-see back here. And started kind of up near where Albert Anderson was. It looked like Albert was able to wrangle that thing back up under control here as we go ahead and kind of take a look at what happened. Oh, man, it looks... the 99 and the 18 just got sucked together like they got a whole bunch of neodymium magnets up in there, and they just joined forces and shot straight up the racetrack. 18, oh man, hard impact with that outside wall, and you could just see the stack up. You could actually, they would literally stacked on up there, as you can see a couple drivers getting both their rear end and their front end lifted on up off the racetrack, and 28 going across the 33's hood. Just a bunch of scattering all over the place there. And then eventually towards the end of it, we'll see the 16 and the 28 collide. Looks like the 16 was just trying to avoid, and out of nowhere the 28 just blocks his way, and oh man, that was a hard impact.
The 99 make it through without getting a bunch of damage. Did you see him get sideways like 3 different times?
Oh yeah.
Incredible.
Well, and I'm wondering if that happened because they were talking about a wreck. The wreck started with the 13 and the 63.
Yeah, the 63 is the one I
everybody
plus-
slowed down. Not went from back to front this time. It was weird. That was a good one, though.
Man, you ain't kidding here. Let's go ahead and take a look back at what happened with the 63 here. Edward Smith getting involved in some of that, and 13 Earl Evans. Oh, just kind of almost the same thing that happened with Vaught, except this time I think there was contact there that lifted the 63's rear end up. That got him all spun around. Good news for Edward Smith, though. He got the caution, so, you know, it's not like he's going any laps down or anything like that. No, that, but he wasn't in the main field to get involved in that, so he was able to, without really any damage, do some pirouettes, get some fresh tires put on there, and he's back up underway.
Pretty good scenario right there.
Yeah, for a crash at Talladega, that's
Yeah,
great
so-
scenario.
Throw some brand new tires, your car's good to go.
So we get
I apologize for that.
what?
Earl was apologizing to Smith about hitting him.
Oh, you're saying there's no anger, nothing that you
No,
need to get some
Earl
popcorn
Smith,
for.
No, Edward Smith said thank you, and that was it.
Politeness.
You know, if they respond, that means okay, they understand. But if it's silence, that's when the fights start happening.
It's going to be words after the race.
Yeah, but no, everybody's good out here.
Well, that is indeed good, as we're closing in on about 40 laps left to go, and gonna be a whole new look to the front of the field here, as for the 187 of Scott Howell gonna start up at the front with the 14 of Dustin Eaton, 99 of Albert Anderson, and 37 Dustin Really starting side by side there. Both Howell and Really up 20 plus positions. Hard charger of the race thus far, though, is the 10 of Andrew Cawthon. Currently scored in 8th, up 24 spots for the 10 machine. He's going to be starting up there with a pretty good restart spot amidst all the chaos. So should be a good closing 40 laps to this thing.
Do not adjust your TV sets there. The the 187, the MDK murder death kill machine of Scott Howell out there. It is all white. So that's what it looks like on our screens. That's what it looks like on the stream. So it's an all white machine.
Murder.
It's easy to spot.
Murder, death, kill. What's that all about?
Remember Demolition Man?
No.
Maybe with you never saw that? Saw Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes?
Well, maybe in 1989 I did. I don't.
Yeah.
Don't remember it.
I'll get with you after the race.
Okay, yeah. Fill me in.
Fill you in.
So the field goes round and round through turns 3 and 4. We get ready to head on back. To some green flag action here. Howell and Eaton side by side as the pace car peels on off down into pit road as these drivers are about ready to hit it back up to 200 miles per hour. With the green flag back on out, here we go. Everybody putting that power down and trying their best to get a good restart here. 99.01 of Kelly Keel all working together here up on that outside lane to get that 14 launched on for 37. Dustin really down on the bottom side, working with the 187 of Scott Howell to get him up to speed as quickly as possible. And then behind all that, you got the 33 of Just Fought, 29 Dave Mayberry making some runs with the 34 and the 1082 on up in some of this action. Same thing with the 3 of Austin Paul there as well, as that top side did finally find some speed and find some of that run as the 14 able to jump on down to the bottom side with the 99 of Albert Anderson. And we go back to side-by-side racing here once again.
Greg Dobson knew the movie I was talking about. He mentioned the thing about the 3 seashells. Thank you for that.
Oh.
At least one guy knows the movie I'm talking about. Dylan Bryant knows it too.
Yeah.
It might be about it.
My memory's gone.
Well, we've done a lot of living, man.
A lot. That's probably
We've done a lot
65,000 years ago.
of a lot of self-abuse.
Yeah.
Body's your temple now. Shouldn't be.
Oh, of course, now.
Oh,
Now
nice.
it is.
Yeah, well, yeah.
As we take a ride here with that Daytona 24 Hours winning driver, Mr. Jacob Young. Tucked in behind the 4 right now. The good wrench machine.
Another guy from the valley down there in McAllen, Texas.
Oh. Love
Texas
it.
got some representation out here tonight with the Raising Cane's machine.
Oh, I love Raising Cane's too. I just get a cup of the sauce. Like a drink cup full of the Raising Cane's.
That's why you take
sauce.
the toast they give you and you just dip it in the salt.
Oh, so good. What's happened to the Tulsa King, Greg Klein, 33, position 3-3 right now? He must have really fallen off in that accident.
I think he maybe. Well, he was in there for 6 minutes of repairs. I don't know if he used a fast repair earlier for the first caution that we saw. But yeah, he is away on his kind of lonesome way back, quite a few laps down right now. Just trying his best to stay out onto the track, maybe find his way with some lucky dogs to catch back on up to that lead lap, as we got the 37 and the 14 fighting side by side, battling for this race lead.
Greg Klein may be talking to somebody to get them deeply reduced fare prices on their crews, because he can do that for you much cheaper than going to the companies.
Yeah, don't order it off the website. Go to Greg for sure.
Go to Greg. People don't realize that if you go to a guy like Greg that's got the inside track, he can get you a ticket on a cruise that's 2/3 of the cost. The cruise companies are really jamming it to people, but guys like Greg, they get you hooked up. GC Cruise Travel on Facebook.
Everybody's jamming it to the people now.
Sure.
Especially the government. What a disgrace this has become.
Got a big pack reforming here.
Yeah.
As we take a look behind the 37 of Dustin Riley, well, ever wondered how close other drivers are to each other when they're in the pack like that? Well, there you go. You even teleport into the car behind you. So that's kind of how everything looks like back there. As you can see, just all the bumping and craziness that goes on in the main pack here. Is a little bit of a bobble up there up at the front, but able to get it back under control.
You can see the radiator on that shot.
Yeah, you see that. Front end of the pulleys on the motor. That's a little camera.
How long do you think it'll take iRacing to fully model like a full motion engine that they put in these cars?
Oh man, they're gonna have to go to another computer server or something for that.
You're gonna have to get rid of your Commodore 64 there.
No, I love it. We updated it the other night. Remember?
Oh yeah,
it's working a lot better. Yeah, we got to figure it out. You and me with brains, you know.
Sure. 2 half brains is as good as 1 brain any day.
Another 15 years, this thing will be good.
Yeah.
I use my computers like my cars. I just drive them till the wheels fall off.
Well, and that's exactly what these drivers are doing out here tonight as they go side by side here, even more, closing in on about 30 laps left to go. 37 of Dustin really leading the charge on the bottom lane. 01 of Kelly Keel and the 14 of Dustin Eaton in with a shot. Same thing with the 33 of Jess Vaught and the 99 Albert Anderson. Even 34 Nick Ramsey has been racing very good up here tonight, pretty much all over this front row as much as he possibly can. Dave Mayberry making up a few spots here, tucked in behind his teammate in the 33 of Vaught there, doing some good work. Even the 16 of Kyle Vaught has had his trials and tribulations this evening, but still on that lead lap up into 15th right now, going side by side with the 72 Chan the Man.
Still a lot of racing left to go here. 30 laps, 31 laps when they cross the line here.
Yeah, that's 31 laps at 2.66 miles apiece, but they're what's the lap time? 47 seconds.
Yeah, 48
yeah,
hours.
they get
48 seconds.
That's a good movie too, by the way. Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy. Hey, wasn't it? Nick Nolte, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, it was. They made another 48 hours.
Yeah, that wasn't as good. Now, I'm gonna argue with you. Best Eddie Murphy movie, my favorite.
Beverly Hills Cop.
No, that's a great one. But
okay.
Trading Places.
Trading Places was good. Coming to America, I think, was better.
I don't know. Trading Places was great.
I don't know.
You have to rewatch it. It really comes into play, you know, with greed and stuff in America today. You know, with the politicians, you know,
the evils of
Like
capitalism.
is that what you're talking about? No, it's capitalism isn't evil. It's politicians that take advantage of it and conduct their own insider trading. They do their own insider trading in Washington, D.C. That's what I'm talking about.
sure.
I'm not a commie. I'm an American.
Ooh, some slicing and dicing out there. 14 of Eaton able to find his way back on up to the very front of that front row and picked himself up some lead here. Coming up on some slower traffic. I think that's probably 92 of Greg Klein. It is, and he is just going straight down to the apron saying, just get around me. Just go. It's scary out here. It's wondering, are those the other cars?
Yeah, scary like Nancy Pelosi's scary, where she makes $150,000 a year and somehow ends up with $250 million in the bank. That's what's scary. That's what I'm talking about there, English. If you want to know the truth.
I know. So that's definitely a problem.
Shouldn't be able to have insider trading within our own government. That's the problem.
Russ Endicott has seen trading places as well.
Yeah, that's a good. I like that line. Yeah.
As the side-by-side action continues to bubble on, 6 of Trevor Robertson finds himself back onto the lead lap and inside this main group, just outside of that top 10 right now in 14th. Chan the Man 15th, Austin Paul 16th, Greg Dobson, our good buddy, he's riding around here in 17th, having a pretty solid run out here tonight.
Yeah, and I don't want to just bang on Nancy Pelosi. The Republicans did the same thing. That Dan Crenshaw, that guy, he's doing it right now. Allegedly Republican. Same with Lindsey Graham and all those other clowns. So I don't like any of them, to be honest with you. Back to racing.
So take a ride around here with the Gold Pinty's machine with Mr. Greg Dobson, 72 Chan the Man, right in front of him as everybody continues their shuffle and bustle. Reminder, everybody last came on down into pit road around lap 52. So we're coming up onto 20 laps in this run here in about 4 laps. So the answer is yes. We still have one more pit stop left to go at least.
And look, we still got 29 folks on the lead lap here. All you have to do to be in contention for the win is be on the lead lap. We've seen huge wrecks take out most of the field before. I won a race. I was 7th coming out of turn 4, and I won the race because there was that much chaos going on in front of me. Everybody wrecked themselves, and I found a lane.
Yeah, anybody can win.
You can be 17th and still pick up a win, you know, going into turn 1 of the last lap. So, you know, just don't give up, man. Don't give up.
And that's actually true, because you have a crash on the beginning of lap 1. Somebody could work their way through it from 20th position to
You're right.
win that thing. As long as you're on the lead lap and in the pack, you got a shot. And Russ knows the assignment. Another great line from that movie. Beyonce.
Yep. And as the side-by-side action continues on here with about 25 laps left to go, expecting some more green flag pit stops here. Everybody all locked in side by side. Who is going to be making some big moves here towards the end? And who's maybe going to make a few blunders? I mean, we saw quite a few people make mistakes that first go around here with those green flag pit stops. A lot of people getting caught for speeding on pit road.
Did and look, a lot of the field is organized for the long term right here. Everybody's too wide. Nobody's trying to get low and jump into a lower line and get ready to pit. So maybe these guys are going to wait until they're almost empty before they start to kind of negotiate their way down the track towards the yellow line to give them a lane to pit. they stay somewhat clean here. I know that, big wrecks and stuff bring big drama and all that kind of stuff, but I'd like to see these guys be able to race competitively here and not wreck each other. But oh man, wiggling like a snake up front. You don't want any push the pusher action in these cars either there, Alan. It ends up just like you're running up somebody's tailpipe. You're gonna spin.
You ain't kidding. We go around and around and around. Here's some more as everybody all locked on in 01 Kelly Keel out in front with the 33 and the 37 and the 29. Man, Vigilante Force looking like a force. Very strong up here, up towards the front, but don't be sleeping on that 10 of Cawthon or the 14 of Eaton, 16 of Kyle Vaught. You got the 99 of Anderson, 28 of George Rincon as we're wrecking.
Earl Evans was wrecking. I think he hit the 27.
And he is slow, and there's some
green.
We're still green flag because I guess everything is still going. But oh man, the 27 is absolutely cooked. Let's rewind this as much as possible. Yeah, there's some heavy suspension damage on that 27. Go ahead. Now watch what happened. Looked like, oh, the 17 into the back of the 13. Gets the 13 all squirrely and loose. 17 down on the apron. 13, man, comes up through the ring just like the Undertaker did, and just absolutely clobbers the 27 up against that outside wall. And yeah, that right front of Timothy Pope's car is being held on by whatever zip ties put it on there.
Might not make the lap there.
It does look like he did at least make it on down into pit road, so that is a good sign there for the 27. As the rest of the field stays all bunched on up because we remain a green flag racing.
So it looks like so far only Jeremiah Burke and Sean McDonald are done for the race. Everybody else still connected here to the race. Even a few guys multiple laps down. Greg Klein, John Gallagher still out there running. You got 4 guys fighting for a lucky dog here. Should they get another yellow flag? So
Ryan, looking at this thing, Ryan and Dave Mayberry is in front.
You are indeed correct, sir.
Wow.
Podium Dave, the new nickname, might cue something here. It might make something happen.
He comes up with so many nicknames for himself. That's why he's the nickname.
Dave, the nickname Mayberry.
Well, see,
We'll see what happens.
I was in that chat with everybody during the 24-hour race, and Dave was in there, and he did his stints. Car came back in without even, and I quote, a bug splatter on the window after he was done with it. So he had said, hey, you know what, I'm going to save the rest of my talents. You guys don't need my help. You'll be able to pull out a good finish without me, and did his runs and called it quits. And now I can see why he saved up all that talent for here tonight as he leads this field on around.
He did one stint, or did he do his minimum stints?
I think it was like a double, so like a back-to-back field run.
Oh, okay.
So 085 Dobson kind of stuck in the middle here, 3 wide, and yeah, that was it. He
did his part.
He did his part, and he did a good job of it. Brought the car back around nice and clean.
Well, hope he doesn't run out of talent here. Let's just put it that way. I don't think he will, but there's something big will happen eventually here.
It's a possibility as we are on the precipice of some green flag pit stops here at 18 laps going on to 17 laps left to go. Everybody jockeying for whatever position down on the bottom side that they can, preparing for one final mad dash down onto pit road to finish this thing on off. But we stay 3 wide here. 28 of George Rincon up on the far outside lane. Jonathan Osborne was in the middle, now finds a hole down on the bottom side, able to slip and slide his way on down and in. Looks like Rincon, though, getting some help up on that far outside lane from his buddy and teammate Mike Everidge in the 82.
Machine in that SpongeBob car. Austin Paul kind of looking outside, maybe wanting to try to entice Craig Dobson in the 085 to go with him to the outside, but not sure he's going to bite here.
What a good view from that 3 machine too of what's ahead of him.
Oh, if all the absolute chaos and stuff that could possibly go wrong here, as up on the outside lane you do have a little bit of a charge here from that 10 of Andrew Cawthon in the 16 of Kyle Vaught. Moving on up, we always talk about that rivalry between Mayberry and young Kyle Vaught here as they get set to go to battle here once again, and they're coming up on some lap traffic here, which is side by side. They're gonna have to go 4 wide and split this thing like a 7-10 split at the bowling alley. Whew.
Podium Dave's trying to tell him what to do. That's really not how that works, Dave. Can't tell the lap cars what to do.
Hey, lap cars, are y'all able to get on the apron or get up high so we can get around you? It's their prerogative to do what they want, but
yeah,
Dave could at least ask.
123 at John Gallagher did indeed get on down onto the apron. I think he recognized the situation as he was, side by side up there, and things weren't looking too good. So he's like, let's maybe not do this, and did the gentlemanly thing and move on out of the way a little bit. We continue to run here inside of 15 laps left to go. Mayberry still out in front. The 10 of Cawthon and 16 of Vaught still working hard, though, trying to move their way on up through this field as Vigilante Force still has that bottom side all locked on down. Man, just 1, 2, 3, and 4 drivers all working well together here. Albert Anderson and the 14 of Dustin Eaton are tucked into line right behind them. I think they're just like trying to talk and stay all grouped on up here together as they make another trip around this racetrack.
Well, contact between the 81 and the 82, and the 82 had to drop back a little bit there. Not sure if that's going to repurpose itself later. We'll see. Albert Anderson's dad on YouTube stream over there saying lap cars, they just need to get out of the way. It's a popular sentiment from the drivers that are on the lead lap.
Yeah, I've been one of them. I just do what I wanted. I didn't care what somebody said.
I always thought the best thing to do was to stay high. I would stay up by the wall and let them go by, and because everybody's trying to shoot down towards the inside anyway. It's more safe than being on the apron to me. I think being on that outside lane, you got plenty of room, especially at a track like this. Sounds like we got our first pit guys calling it out here. Heard 18 player announce it. A lot of guys lined up on this inside line now.
Yeah, everybody, I think the calls have gone on out over the team radios, and everybody preparing to come on down, and yes, indeed, here we go. Mayberry leading the charge here as Vaught, Eaton, Keel, Reilly, Robertson, Player, Cawthon, Osborne, other Vaught, Paul, and Ochoa make their way on down and in.
Just Vaught was sideways in the middle of the pit lane. He's going to lose some spots there. These guys had to drive around him.
That's the 88 Mike Adamson, 085 Greg Dobson, 43 John Curtis all staying on out. Same thing with the 99 of Albert Anderson, 34 Nick Ramsey, 28 of George Rincon, Mike Everidge, and Chandler Paul all staying on out here. As coming out of the pits, it's going to be Dustin Eaton leading that charge with the 18 of Andrew Player, 29 of Dave Mayberry followed there as they're locking them on up. And ooh, I think maybe a little hot there for the 085 and Dobson. We're going to have to wait and see as the rest of the drivers make their pit stops here and get everything all buckled up and underway.
Andrew Player got a penalty coming out of the pits, so he's going to have to come back down. Nicholas Ramsey in the 34 and Greg Dobson, both of the Canadians there, with black flags. They're going to have to serve penalties.
Oh, man, Justin Trudeau would not be happy with them. He'd tax them triple for that.
And well, it looks like Player is going to at least hold out for the time being, probably maybe do one more lap. You are given a grace period of about 2 or 3 laps to officially get everything all taken care of. But in the meantime, while they're all fighting around and jockeying for position, 88 of Mike Adamson back out onto the racetrack with John Curtis about a second back. Albert Anderson trying to make up some time here as well and catch on up to the 43 and the 88. Meanwhile, here comes that 29 of Dave Mayberry and company. Kelly Keel, Trevor Robertson, Jonathan Osborne, Dustin Eaton all locked on into this big group here fighting for what could possibly be the race win here with about 10 laps left to go.
Mike Adamson also pit road penalty for the 88. Thank you, Osvaldo Mejia, for joining us out here, pulling for the 16 and the 10.
Yes, there's bobbing. There is some weaving as the 29 of Mayberry goes 3 wide with Albert Anderson and the 14 of Dustin Eaton here as they stay 3 wide up here, up at the front. 81 Jonathan Osborne in some of this mix and craziness, as well as the 6 in the 01 of Kelly Keel. Yeah, Mike Adamson trying to pick up that win, but he is coming in for that penalty here. So it's really just a 6-car split here up at the front, 7 cars split here up at the front with about 8 laps left to go and about 4 seconds clear of Rincon, the Vots, Chandler Paul, Dustin Really. They're going to be working really hard here trying to catch on up to this main group as they go side by side here. Once again, 3 wide with Mayberry up against that outside wall. Anderson out in front.
Who's he working harder than?
Oh, the real Mrs. Poindexter, of course.
You damn right he is. Look at him. That 1-8 coffee machine.
Dave is still holding his own right there in 7th place. Several spots in front of the 16 of Kyle Vaught, who's currently in 10th. Sure, that'll be a topic of conversation in the family email blast that the family patriarch will send out, I'm sure.
Oh, of course, because, Kyle, of course, loves his Uncle Dave.
Yeah.
He's even got the shirt that says so.
Yeah, he does love his Uncle Dave.
They're all locked into that little bit of a train, 3 seconds, and they're trying their best to close on up to these front groups here, but as they come back down across the line, 6 laps left to go here. Dustin Eaton fighting alongside the 99 of Anderson as they get into turns 1 and 2. 01 of Kelly Keel right behind Anderson. 81 of Osborne right behind Eaton. If I had to pick a winner right here and right now, it's going to be the 99 with some help from that 01.
Yeah, don't count out these guys that are in the 2nd or 3rd row, though. Even guys like Trevor Robertson right here, Mayberry and John Curtis. Don't count them out. And check out the 81. Being slick, showing up here, dodging everybody. 81, man. Chachi's got a chance.
Yeah, everybody has a chance. Somebody's going to get turned and learned, and we're going to be surprised who wins this thing, I think.
I think you're possibly right, but we got about 5 more laps to get to before we cross that start-finish line for the final time here as they remain side by side, working their magic around Talladega here tonight. We also have another kind of little chase pack with Scott Howell leading that charge, Austin Paul, Mike Everidge, Andrew Cawthon in that mix, as well as some lap traffic like the 27 of Timothy Pope. They've got about call it 5 seconds to where Dustin really is in that first set of chase traffic is. Ricky Wittenberg, Josh Bittner, and Edson Ochoa working well together here, all trying to make their way on up as many spots as they can as we return up here to the front with 4 laps left to go. Still side by side, all locked on in between Eaton and Anderson.
Great pushing by the 01, keeping the 99 out front. Chachi doing his best he can to stay behind the 14 of Eaton, but having a rough go of it here last couple of laps. Still keeping it close, though. They're within half a car length when they come around to the start-finish line.
Yeah, and it's go time now, and they're about to come up on some lap traffic, too.
Ooh, that's going to make it interesting.
That most definitely is, because you never know. How many times have you ever been, there's been helped out by a lap car, maybe picking up a little bit of some draft or helping drag you along, pick up some of that extra speed, especially if you're a lap car, you're not necessarily fighting for a win, but man, you always get a shout out if, you push a car to the win and kind of help them on out. So this is what they're kind of hoping for as things kind of go single file here as they come back down and across the line with 2 laps left to go in the C's part ways here, and everyone's going to try to shuffle on through. 34 and the 085 working together there. Sorry there, Mr. English.
No, you got.
Oh, some went high, some went low, but they got out of the way. That was the main thing. Here we go, man. Race is definitely on.
Yes, sir, indeed, as Albert Anderson saying, keep the pedal to the metal, son. You got this. And boy, oh boy, you best believe he's probably put a pretty solid indent on that floorboard in these Gen 4 cars here, making sure that that foot stays locked into place as we got someone smoking coming on down into the pits as they come back down across the line. White flag is out, and this is it as we go 3 wide with Chachi on out around the outside lane. 99 of Anderson being pushed by the 01 of Kelly Keel. The 29 of Dave Mayberry hustling and bustling on that bottom side there, as well as here comes that 14 with some help from the 43 of John Curtis, giving him a big shove as things get all tied on up and evened on up down into turns 3 and 4. The 6 of Trevor Robertson just waiting for a hole to open up so he could possibly split the difference here as they round out of turn number 4. Side by side, it's going to be the Great American Drag Race down across the line as they enter into the Tri-Oval one final time, and it's going to be America's driver winning that drag race.
How clean was that?
Yeah, Dustin Eaton right there finishing in second. Kelly Keel, the pusher of the day, as usual, picking up the last podium spot.
That was a heck of an ending, man. We don't normally see that. The guys up front finished clean, finished up front.
Yeah, that they did. But how about that from John Curtis, giving those big pushes to the 14 of Eaton there at the end, trying to get him the race win. Man, that was pretty dang good.
0.03 of a second between first and second, so it wasn't super close, but it wasn't a runaway.
It was not this. Anderson celebrates with some victory spinning off the wheels here.
I got Albert, Dustin, Kelly, John Curtis, and Trevor Robertson there. Podium Dave didn't make the podium. He's in 6th.
Oh, you got Kelly as the third?
Yes.
On iRacing, yeah, Kelly.
Yep.
And if you watch it, it's pretty obvious, but
Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
John Curtis had a hell of a run on that 43.
And really quick Yahtzee.
And as Mr. English steps aside here for just a quick second. I guess the excitement got to him here. We can kind of start some of these driver interviews, and we can start here tonight with our spotlight driver of the race, and finishing up inside of that top 10 here tonight is going to be the 28 of Mr. George Rincott, picking up the fantastic top 10 finish there. Congratulations, George, having a pretty solid run, a pretty solid race car here tonight. And I know some green flag pit stops kind of create some chaos and some craziness, but tonight turned out to kind of be just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy. I had a lot of fun there at the end. It's unfortunate it had those couple of wrecks there, but that was good. Just couldn't get anybody to work with me on the outside. It's like they see my car and they want to stay away from me. I don't know what it is I did to these people, but it is what it is. Top 10 will work.
Well,
I
maybe
think that's what I finished, right?
Yeah, 10th.
Yeah,
You got
10th. Yeah.
I mean,
Well-
top 10, can't beat that, man.
Yeah. Well, you can. There's nine places ahead of that.
Talladega is a crapshoot. You know that. I'd take a 10, but
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, just to finish it and be competitive there at the end was really cool. Had Jess helping me there at the end for a little bit was good, but yeah, that outside was the way to go. But nobody wanted to go up there. I don't know what's wrong with these people. But anyway, thank you guys for putting on this thing. This will be good for some whiskey and 7-Up tonight. Watching this tonight, so you guys always do a great job.
Definitely will be. Thank you very much. Who'd you like to give some shout outs to, man?
All my teammates, they're awesome. Austin, Chandler, Mike. Weren't able to work together too much because of the accidents on that one, but they're a good group of guys, and of course Jess and Laura for putting this on. They always do a good job officiating and making things done. So my wife too, of course. She endures me sitting out here all night long. So got to shout out to her too. You guys do a great job.
Awesome, man. Well, appreciate it there as we celebrate tonight's spotlight driver, Mr. George Rincon, driver of the 28 machine, and climbing up the field for that top 10 finish there, man. Congratulations and good luck next week as we return to the trucks here once again.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
And there we have that as we continue to slowly move our way on up this leaderboard and talk to tonight's third place finisher, Mr. Kelly Keel, with the push and action magic here once again, helping Albert Anderson get to that win, but more importantly, finding his way to a third place finish, man. Congratulations there, Kelly. That was one heck of a run that you pulled out of there with that 01 machine.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. It's teamwork makes the dream work, right? I worked all night with Dustin and Jess and Dave and Greg Klein, and I didn't qualify very well, but I don't know what these other guys are doing. I wish I could figure out what they're doing to get up to the front, but third place, I'll take it. It was awesome pushing Albert, making sure he got that win, and then racing with Dustin Eaton, seeing he got second. So congratulations to them too. So it was fun. It was fun. A lot of fun.
Well, how much did it bother you not to be able to just stick your nose up there and just actually push them instead of just getting close? I saw you make contact a couple of times. You just barely kiss in the back bumper. Is that what you got to do in these ARCA style cars?
For me, yeah, I try to touch them all the way around the track, push as hard as I can go. I know some of these guys, I don't think some of them push as hard as I do, but yeah, I I'll push it to the limit. I think I scared. I think I pushed Dave a little bit too hard and got him loose. What was it? About 4 laps to go, I think it was, or three. I think I scared him a little bit, but yeah, it's fun.
And you got to worry about checkups too. Like if somebody
Hmm.
checks up in front of the guy you're pushing,
Oh,
it's going to be a disaster.
yeah,
Which we
exactly.
saw a little bit of that tonight.
Well, I was all the way. I think at one point I was up under Greg Klein's car, and I had like 12 seconds through the repair, and I went in and only fixed like three. I had 3 seconds in there and then I didn't even use a fast repair. I thought for sure my car was going to be junk, but I thought let's just try it and see what happens. Then I slid through my pit stop that last. What was it? The last stop or second to last. I thought, my night's over, but ended up being third, so I'll take that.
Yeah, man, heck of a job pushing. I think Albert said he owes you some cold beer.
Well, see,
So
I
you
thought
might
that's
want.
what he said.
Yeah,
So,
that's what he said. So it's on record, or maybe some of that 1-8 coffee he's got on that machine. But anyway, who'd
yeah,
you
I'll
like to
take
give
some
some
of that
shout outs?
too, right?
Who'd you like to give some shout outs to, man?
I would think everyone in VRL, all the team members and my team, and we all worked really well tonight. I don't know where Greg Klein finished. I know we passed him, I think, a couple of times. He was a couple of laps down, but yeah, and then Jess and Lori for doing what they do. It's fun, so it's a great place to hang out on Monday and Wednesday nights and hang out with you guys, like watching the broadcast the next day. Sometimes I'll watch it at work or just wait till I get home. So yeah, it um, just everyone. Yeah, good time.
Awesome, man. Well, big congratulations to the O1 of Kelly Keel on the fantastic third place finish here tonight, man. Congratulations. Definitely go celebrate it, and we'll catch you on back out here in the trucks here again next week there, buddy.
Yeah, looking forward to that. See you guys.
With that, we'll move on up to the second step of tonight's podium and talk to the original orangutan himself, driver of the number 14 machine, Mr. Dustin with a Y Eaton, bringing on home a solid second place finish here tonight, man. You can never ask for anything else other than a good old-fashioned drag race down across the line here at Talladega.
Man, it was a sweater, wasn't it? First of all, let me get you the old ooh, and man, it was a hell of a race, man. Osborne, he was there. I'm a little disappointed he stepped out, but he said he was going to turn me if he didn't. Replay will tell Osborne you can't lie on replay. But then old John Curtis swooped in there and pushed me back up a little bit. So, Kelly's God, he's a ridiculous pusher. I almost blew myself up pushing against him when I was pushing really, and on a couple of those laps, I had to back off. That's why we ended up dropping back with Albert. But yeah, man, fun race, fast race, and don't even know how I was up there half the time, but we made it, buddy.
Well, it's going to be a different world next week. You guys headed to Auto Club, back to the truck platform. So it's going to be a little bit more forgiving as far as the pushing and the rubbing and stuff goes. Didn't see a whole lot of that successfully here tonight in these Gen 4 cars. Pretty sensitive and get upset pretty easily. But Auto Club, always a fun track to see you guys race on. You looking forward to it?
Oh man, I love the not flat outs. I can't remember if it's all flat out in the truck or not. I know I love racing these cars there, but truck's fun too. And as far as like pushing with these cars, man, if you go back and watch, there's a few times like a lot of us are locked up, and be honest with you, we're flat out at that point. So we're kind of pushing. It's just you've got to get that subtle tap and like kind of push before you can gun it. So or else you'll just be a dagger right up their hindquarters, man. Nobody likes that. No one likes an unwelcome penetration,
Well, I don't know what to say other than, hey, man, would you like to give some shout outs to?
I'd like to give shout out to old Kelly and Albert there. Definitely fun racing against those guys. I love you guys, always shouting you boys out up here, keeping it classy and whatnot. And then And then Jess and Lori, Lori putting up with our crap, and Jess out there racing me hard too. So definitely appreciate all those guys. Screw
Awesome.
you, Osborne beat you, or not Osborne. Screw you, Mayberry beat you. I had to say it. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I painted my own car tonight. That's my first attempt at my own paint job, and I've got little Mayberries on my back bumper. If you didn't see it, yeah.
I'll have to go back and look.
Yeah, we'll
Yep.
definitely have to go back and look now and check that on out. But man, the 14 of Mr. Dustin Eaton picking up the second place finish here tonight. Man, congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you guys back out here in action in those trucks here once again there, buddy.
Thanks, boys. See you next week.
Indeed, as we move on up to our final podium position and the most important one, bringing home the race win. And I mean, talking about completing a trifecta of race results the last few weeks, America's driver doesn't need some coffee to wake up for this one. Your race winner, Mr. Albert Anderson, here from Talladega. Albert, congratulations, man. A little topsy-turvy there at the beginning, but everything got locked in for you there getting towards the end. Yeah, you find yourself on the victory lane once again there, buddy.
Yeah, man, that was whew. Yeah, I wasn't sure what was going to happen there. I got involved in a couple of incidences, and almost hit the wall and managed to keep it straight and stay in there. And then coming off of 4, I had the best pusher in the league behind me, and he couldn't get out from behind me because Dustin Eaton and whoever was behind him were on our doors pretty side. So Kelly was stuck pushing me. And I got this win because Kelly was behind me pushing me. I mean, he's a phenomenal pusher, and he pushed me out there and made it happen. So thank him.
Well, congrats, buddy, on the first place. Great job out there tonight. With the title sponsor of the race on the machine, you understood the assignment here tonight, it looked like, and 1-8 Coffee Company down there. They in Fort Benning, Georgia, is that correct?
Yeah.
By some active duty Army cats down there.
Yeah, the owner is active. Tyler Payne, he's the owner. He's an active duty drill instructor.
Nice.
He's all about first responders and all about the military, supporting our police and fire and rescue guys. And he's a stand-up dude, and he's a true patriot, and he's a great guy. And coming into this, this is my first race with 1-8 Coffee on the car. I want to start on the pole. I want to win and really make a big statement for 1-8 Coffee. And thank God I was able to do that tonight.
Man, you've been doing it seems like the last few weeks. You're just up here winning. That's why you're America's driver. That's why you're getting all the sponsors. You're getting all the attention. We all love you out here. Who would you like to give some shout outs to?
Well, first I want to give a shout out to Lori Vaught and Peyton McGowan. I'm their favorite driver. They can't say it, Lori's married to Jess, and Josh is Peyton and Josh are girlfriend and boyfriend. They can't say it, but I know I'm Lori and Peyton's favorite driver. So thank you to both of them.
It shows.
Yeah. Daniel Postlaw, DEP Graphics, Ricky Wittenberg, D&D Race Graphics, Dave Mayberry, Blue Fox Realty, Ricky Wittenberg, Keller Williams, Johnson City, Tennessee, Greg Klein, GDC Cruises, the league owners, Lori, Jess. Lori, I'm bringing another trophy home, baby. Clear off some room. All my teammates at All Star Racing, they make it all, they make it all happen for me. They really do. It's a good environment, and I really love having each and every last one of them in the All Star family of drivers. And all of my fans, my mom was tuning in tonight. Thank you, Mom. Love you, Dad. My aunts, Edith and Kathy. My friends that were tuned in to the broadcast, and the broadcasters, AAA broadcasting. Man, I hope I got everybody. I had a long list to read off there, but AAA broadcasting, you guys are the best in the business, and I'm looking forward to watching the replay on this one for sure.
Well, thanks, man. The code What is it's the code for 10% off
Oh yeah,
at
yeah.
18 Coffee? What is it now?
Yeah, it's so if you go to 18coffee.com, use code America's Driver and you can get 10% off on all of your purchases every time you go in. So 18 Coffee, some good stuff. I'm a coffee drinker. I drink every single morning a cup of coffee, and it perks you up. It goes down smooth. It's really, really good stuff. So I encourage everybody to go to 18coffee.com, enter discount code America's Driver, get 10% off, and enjoy some 18 Coffee with me.
Awesome, man. Well, we're all enjoying the victory as well as America's Driver brings it on home for everybody here tonight. Albert, congratulations, man. Definitely go soak this one on in, and we'll catch you back out here in action again next week in those trucks there, buddy.
America's Driver's got love for everybody. Thank you, guys.
And with that, we close out all the action here from Talladega tonight. And whew, boy, oh boy, did we have ourselves one heck of a show for everybody out there from these drivers. And glad you were able to pop in here, Turner. Glad to hear you.
I appreciate it, man. I popped in on a good one though. Got a lot of stuff going on, but this was a fun race. I'm glad I got it in.
It was a great race in the sense that it wasn't a caution fest. You know, we had a couple of yellow flags that, you know, from some competitive contact out there, but it wasn't like a caution after caution after caution like you see from some of these leagues that are out there. But VRL, they got their stuff together, man. These guys do practice races and all that, so these guys are prepared when they come in to race a race like this, and it was a lot of fun to watch, man. I loved it.
Yeah, indeed. As we wind things on down here from Talladega, let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver ended up finishing here tonight as America's Driver. The 99 of Albert Anderson picking up the race win. 14 of Dustin Eaton with a solid run, finishing just behind him there in second. The 01 of Kelly Keel doing the hard work and all the pushing out there, finds his way on up onto the podium as well. Just outside of the podium, 43 of John Curtis had a fantastic race here tonight, just comes up a little bit shy there in fourth. And then you got Trevor Robertson just kind of sneaking up out of nowhere. It was even laps down at one point, fighting on back to finish up inside of the top five. Mr. Dave Mayberry had a fantastic run as well. Final closing pit stops kind of got him a little bit there, but a solid 6th place finish for him. Jonathan Osborne up in that fight there as well. You saw him trying to go 3 wide there occasionally, and was definitely putting on the moves, but good 7th place finish there for him. Jusvat gonna finish up there in 8th place in that second kind of grouping of traffic. Had a solid race here tonight. Then you got the young Kyle Vaught in the 16 machine finishing up inside of that top 10 here in 9th with a great run. With the 28 of tonight's spotlight driver, Mr. George Rincon, bringing on home in the final top 10 position.
37 of the Big Showed Killer, Dustin Riley, he'll finish in 11th place, working his way up a whole bunch of spots from 23rd. 12th place will be Chandler Paul, the man in the 72. His brother, Austin Paul, finishing right behind him there in the 3 machine in 13th place. Wow, what a run he had from 31st all the way up to 13th. And also up a bunch of spots, 10 spots to be exact. Scott Howell in the 187 MDK machine there. And the 10 of Andrew Cawthon will finish in 15th place, also up a bunch of spots from 32nd. Ricky Wittenberg up 4 in the double nickel machine, in 16th place. Josh Bittner in the 84 finishes 17th. 18th, our buddy down there in the valley, Edson Ochoa in the 8 machine. Good job out there tonight. 19th, Mike Everidge in the 82. Another valley guy out there, Jacob Young in 17 will finish in 20th place.
07 Jack the Ripper Dixon 21st, 22nd Nicholas Ramsey in the 34. 27 Timothy Pope 23rd, 24th number 4 Deion Jones 085 Greg Dobson. 25th, 26th, Andrew Player, and 18, Ray Radford. 47, 27th, 28th, Edward Smith. Michael Adamson in 88, 29th, 30th, John Gallagher in the 123, Earl Evans, sponsored, not sponsored, 13 Machine. 31st, 32nd, Greg Klein, Tulsa King. Sean McDonald, 33, Jeremiah Burke, 34, and Lori Vaught, Race Control. Thank you.
And that is your field here tonight from Talladega. As always, we thank you all for tuning in and watching and having a fantastic time out here with us. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you get alerted every single time that we go live. And if you enjoy any of the racing action, be sure to hit that thumbs up button here as well so we can continue to grow this fantastic community we got going on over here. Of course, big thank you to tonight's race sponsor, 1-8 Coffee Company. Again, be sure to use code America's Driver at checkout to get your 10% off. Big thank you to 1-8 Coffee Company for the sponsorship here tonight. And of course, big thank you as well to our other fantabulous sponsors like GC Cruise Travel and Mr. Greg Klein, Blue Fox Properties and Mr. Dave Mayberry, and Ricky Wittenberg with Keller Williams of Johnson City, Tennessee, and D&D Race Graphics. Thank you all for your continued sponsorship, because without your support, VRL would not be able to put on the amazing show that they do each week in and week out. So big thank you to all of you. So with that, we close out the action again here for this week. The Num Thumbs Racing League is still in their kind of off-season, kind of building phase of things, but they'll be back here shortly. We'll be back a week from today here on Wednesday as the VRL takes the trucks over to Auto Club for some fantastic running around that 2-mile racetrack. Man, we always love a good race at Auto Club, and it's always a good time for everybody. So we look forward to seeing everybody next week on Wednesday. And until then, I am Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We're signing off.
We gone.
See ya.